Hello everyone, welcome to this Learn Anyone channel. So in this video, we will discuss what is the basics SAP BW or SAP BW on HANA, right? So let's go ahead, right? So yes, so before going SAP, okay, we should know the introduction about packages. Like is a collection of executable program function and actions. Example, ATM, railway reservations, these are the packages. And what is the languages? So language is a collection of executable statement program. Okay, example, C, Java, these are the program. So now another thing that is called ERP. What does mean by enterprise resource planning? So in the market, there are so many SAP, I mean not SAP ERP package available. Example, JD Edward, Ben, Siebel, Oracle, SAP. These are the all are the ERP package. So now we will focus on ERP concept. What is ERP? So ERP, that means enterprise resource planning. Example, if you can say enterprise, that means well established organization. Resource means main material, machines, and planning, that is HR, okay, engineering, these are the finance, these are the business planning, right? Now come to the system, SAP system, right? SAP, what does mean? SAP, that means system, application and product in data processing. Okay, so SAP developed by AG company in Germany, right? So now SAP categorized in several modules. So basically, for my understanding, we have categorized into three main category. One is the like functional basis and technical, right? So under functional, we have a PP, SD, these are the functional module. Now second is a basis. So basis, the module which is basically used for a troubleshooting, networking and administration. This kind of a job role we should say basis module, right? Now technical, under technical we have two types of module. One is a pure technical, another one is a techno functional. So ABAP is called a technical module, that is a pure technical module, and techno function, that is a BW, BI, BW4 HANA. These are the techno functional module, right? Now about SAP BW, what does mean by SAP BW? SAP BW is a data warehouse tool which is used for storing business data for reporting and analysis purpose in any organizations. So what is the advantage? So the BW always have an integrated, time variant, subject oriented, non-volatile, summary data and historical data. So these are the you can say advantage or features of the BW. So what does mean by integrated? Integrated means the BW can store a data from different business area. Example, if you have a any kind of like a business, let's see a kind of any like retail vendor, so you have a multiple departments like HR, FICO, okay, marketing and sales. So these are basically all integrated and we have a data into the BW, that is called integrated. And time variant, every data from each department is coming the timing or date, that is a variant, that is called a vary. And subject, each department there is their own data, that is called subject oriented and non-volatile. So that is called, it is not possible to like delete a data, okay, whenever you required. And basically SAP BW store a summary data, right? That is not a detailed level of the data, that is called summary. And it also called store the historical data for the business decisions. Now mostly the student confused like what is the difference, basically this OTPL, OLTP and OLAP system. So very simple, we can say OLTP, that is online, right, transaction processing systems, that is SAP ECC system we can say. And OLAP, that is called BW, online analytical processing system, right? So in the transactional system, basically it is an example, you can say ECC, SD, these are all are the called OLTP, because each system in the ECC have a transaction. We can't store or we can't history the data, right? So that's why we are pulling the data into the BW for the future decision. We keep the data into BW for future decisions, right? So these are the basically we can say, like we can have a data in the multi-dimensional, we can store the data for the reporting purpose, that is called OLAP, right? So OLAP can store the detailed level of data, while OLTP, but OLAP can store the summary kind of data. OLTP is not used for store much older data, while OLAP is used to store a lot of historical data, right? Now you can see the history of the BW. Before, like it is earlier, it was very older versions. Okay, so now it is a BW 4 HANA, right? Now this is the early design of the BW, okay, which is earlier, which was design or developed is first look like this kind of ETL flow, like data in the source, data move into the target using ETL. So that is called ETL, right? Now what is the basically area in BW, SAP BW? So there is a mostly three parts: modeling, extraction, and reporting. So we'll discuss each module, I mean each the part. Okay, now let's see this diagram, which indicates a business warehouse, information warehouse architectures. So this is a three layer. You can see the bottom source system, that is called many source system. It would be either R3 system or ECC, BW, non-SAP, or any kind of a ERP system, right? And now the BW server. Okay, in BW server we have a multiple objects, BW objects, like example InfoCube, DSOs, like master data, right? All kind of administrators are available. Okay, and these are the connected with the source using RFC connection or BAPI connections, right? And top up we can see like BW server, we have a reporting tool, either BAX reporting tool, SSC, or there is a BO or a Power BI. So many reporting tools are there. So it depends upon the client, like how they are comfortable and what kind of business and how they are basically implementing and which is like more reliable for their business. So depend upon they are using the reporting tool. So this is basically called ETL data. I mean, you can say a three layer, that is the ETL data flow: source, then BW server, and the reporting, right? Now architecture of like BW 4 HANA or on HANA. So this is the basically we have it. Now these are the new objects basically, which is replaced earlier in 7.0. It was like we have a ADSO but classic, but there is some changes in the BW 4 HANA. So these are the basically advanced we have it, like new objects which is replaced by the BW 4 HANA. Now this is a look like RSA 1 modeling which is not available in BW 4 HANA, but yes, BW on HANA RSA 1 is working, but BW 4 HANA it is just replace RSA1 with Eclipse data modeling, okay, tool, where we can have all the designing and development, all the objects over the Eclipse using tool IDs. Okay, you see this is the kind of Eclipse or HANA Studio you can use for develop the BW objects, right? Thank you. So please welcome. If in case any questions, comment me, mail me. Please like and subscribe this channel, and if possible share with your friend. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.